Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Halftime Mike podcast. You know, it's all about giving you something practical, something doable, something to help you take the next step in your online digital social media marketing. I'm Mike Gingerich, your host here to the Halftime Mike podcast. And last week we started a series, with the first in the series, on the game plan for your social media and digital marketing lead capture. All right, so we kind of went over the overview last week. We mapped out the strategy of the digital marketing funnel that I espouse and wrote a book on, Game Plan for Social Media Lead Generation. You can find on Amazon. And we want to dive into another piece of that topic today. So we're trying to break down the funnel. And if you recall, we went over those pieces that I talked about, the 6 different parts of your online presence and how they all need to work together. So those include attracting the right audience, engaging that audience, capturing that audience, nurturing that audience, offering a specific sell to that audience, and evaluating what you've been doing so that you can make adjustments on that, tweak it, and get back to it with a sharper focus. So you want to take a look at what's working or not. Now, we also talked about your key assets that are a part of this, and I mentioned the problem that many small businesses make today, and that is they don't connect the pieces in this. And they see, hey, people are saying social media is important, so they're getting on Facebook, they're getting on Instagram, but they're not connecting those in a overarching strategy with their other assets. When I'm talking about assets, I'm talking about your website. That's your primary asset, okay? Then I'm talking about a blog or resource center that should be a part of your website. That's the second piece there. Then the third thing is your social media accounts, all right? Your fourth thing is your email marketing. And you want to put all those pieces together. You want to bundle those together so that they work in a cohesive plan together for you, a strategy, so that you can nurture leads online, grow leads, and see that starting to generate for your business. So today we want to talk about the top part in that funnel, which is attracting the right audience, the top of the funnel. This is the widest part, and attracting the audience is critical in your business marketing. And this is getting away from the highway billboard approach, where you have the cars going by on a highway, and maybe there's 5,000 cars a day, but if is that all your ideal audience that has eyeballs on that? I mean, maybe some of them are, but is that worthwhile? Well, with what we're doing, you can get in front of the right audience, and you want to do more of that. So there's 2 ways that we can do that, and there's a strategy behind that piece. So in terms of a basketball analogy, because that's what Halftime Mike podcast, right? This is about the point guard is the one who's in charge of bringing the ball down the court and setting up the offense. They look for a way to break through the opposing team's defense, and then get the play set up so that they can score. So they're analyzing what the defense has given them and how they need to adjust and set up to succeed. So that's what we want you to do. And this principle works with social media marketing. The key and the foundation is not just social media posts, but I think it is website content that is attractive that you share on social media. So again, this is a social media, ultimately you're going to share it on social media, but I want you to start with your website, with your blog. I think there needs to be resource-rich content that shows your expertise, that provides value, that helps someone maybe who is trying to find out answers to questions that your product or service solves. And so it's not, specifically just talking about your product, but it is talking about the ways this is implemented and how this solves the case studies, those types of things. So quality, resource-rich content that you can do. And I just met with a guy yesterday, and he was talking about, I'm getting something on my blog once a month, and trying to do that. And I was like, well, okay, can we talk about that for a second? I said, there's how many emails do you get per day? How many blog posts, websites do you go to per day? We talked about that, quite a few. Okay, bottom line is there's a lot of content out there. If you're only putting out 1 blog post a month, you're probably getting lost in the sea of things, because even if you email that to somebody, that's 1 touch point in a month. That's probably not going to do it. I recommend that you at least have to try to go for 2 blog posts a month, and then we're going to share that multiple times on social media. So we're going to enhance the ways that they can see that, and that's post types. We'll get into those pieces, but let's just start with that. 2 to 3 times a month, 4 if you can, once a week. Get new resource-rich content out on your website, and then you want to share that on social media. And there's multiple ways to share that. You can share it when it comes out. You can share it the next day. You can share it as a photo on Facebook, and then have a link in that photo. You can share it as a little bit of a video that talks about it and then encourages people to come over to it. You could do a Facebook Live event about it and talk about it and then encourage them to come over to it. You can run a link post. You can share the link on Facebook. Now that's going to get the lowest reach, but it's a way to share it. Then you can, on Instagram, you can post a picture about it, talk about it, make that your bio link up there. They can come to this blog post and see that. You could do a Instagram story about it. Just coming now is Facebook stories. This wasn't even around here a couple weeks ago. But the opportunity for pages to do Facebook stories is coming out. So that's a key new resource there. But you want to have a footprint. And how does this content help you? Number one, it gives you something to share on social media. Number two, it's good for SEO purposes because it's a footprint of great content about what your site is focusing on, and that only can help you from a search standpoint for people finding you. And then if you're doing these, the videos, that's extra content that's out there. If you load that video to YouTube and talk about it and then invite people over, that's another SEO tool and a way to get in front of people. So use that one piece of content, multiply it in multiple ways using multiple means, even on the same social media network. As you heard me, just because you shared it once on Facebook doesn't mean you're done. You shouldn't be. And you should share it in multiple ways, as a photo, as a video, talk about it, those types of things over the course of a week. All right? And then maybe even come back to it down the pike on another post that you can schedule out 2 weeks later, something like, those type of things. You need to get it out there. And okay, so again, if you're doing that, let's just take Instagram, Facebook, for example. You're primarily going to hit a portion of your fans, your followers, right? Which is good. You want to nurture the people who have shown some interest. Fans and followers, some of them might be customers, some of them might not be. So it could be an upsell for a customer. It's people that have liked your page, they showed an interest. We're trying to get in front of them. We're trying to have a next point of contact with them. And so that's why it's important to share on social media. And then by that content, bringing them back to your website, you're really getting a second point of contact. They saw it on social, they clicked through, they came over to the website, and now they're on your website reading the rest of it. You talked about the 2 points on social media, and you said for the rest of the 7 come over to the website. They click through, they're there. So that is what you can do with your fans and followers. Now the other piece that you want to think through is reaching the ideal target audience, and that's where I think you need to be thinking about Facebook and Instagram ads. And you want to amplify some of this content, the posts, the social media posts they're putting out there. Create some Facebook ads, a image ad, could be a video ad, could be those types of items, and you can also run that on Instagram. And then you can use Facebook's demographic targeting tools, so you could reach by interest, by income, by industry, even against competitor pages, those types of things, to get in front of that ideal audience. That's one way. Then the second way is that you can create a custom audience from your website visitors. Maybe it's people that have been on your website, and so you want to reach that audience again, another point of contact. So by putting a pixel on your website, Facebook can track they were there, now they're on Facebook, deliver them this ad. So that's a key. And the third thing related to that is a custom lookalike audience. So if you have that pixel and people have been on your website, then Facebook can understand who they are, and Facebook can say, give you a audience that is like those people on Facebook. So if it's a good thing that you have people visiting your website that is akin to the people that are going to be purchasing from you, you can reach more of those by doing a lookalike custom audience. These are all things that you can do, we can implement for you with our marketing services, but just letting you know these are some of the possibilities. So we're not doing that shotgun approach. Remember, it's not just scattershot. It's not just a billboard with thousands of cars going by, whoever that is, but we can put content out there, we can reach our fans, we can reach our followers, and we can reach the target audience that is most likely ready to purchase from us. That's what this is about. That's why this is important. So I want to go through those details for you there, and get you thinking through attraction type content. Now, not all of your content. This is not going to be the only social media post that you offer. All right. So working with my partner on Magnet Marketers, Jessica Phillips, and we do a Facebook Live show. Magnet Marketers, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. One of the things that she really talks about is a kind of a 10-4-1 rule, and that is with your social media posts, you want to be thinking about 10 pieces of content that are valuable, okay? 4 pieces that are specifically driving someone to your website, and 1 that maybe makes a specific pitch, 10-4-1. And so this in your attraction content, it's not just all links to your website. That's that 4 in the middle. So just think if we're doing, 1 blog post a week, that's kind of covering those pieces there. But in that 10, you want to have resource-rich content. How else can you offer tips? Can you offer little videos, things like that that are just unattached resources that help people that way, so they become a trusted source for information, expertise in the arena that you best serve, and that that your client base will be made up of. So think 10-4-1, and get that types of media out there. What's working right now is short little video clips. You don't have to find all this and create all this yourself. You can find it from good sources, related sources. I always talk about this like from a real estate agent perspective. You can't just sell houses all the time on social media, but you can talk about the community, what's happening, the new shopping center development, the community event that's happening in the weekend. You can be a resource for the community, as well as helping them think through home buying, home selling in that community. Okay, so those are the ways you need to think about that. How can you be a helpful resource? You do sell homes, but how can you be a resource around a community that you serve, and helping those people when they're thinking through before they buy, before they sell, the steps that they want to go through. Okay, a real life business example that we've been doing it with is a vinyl lattice product. So this is something that you use with if you have your fence there, it's a vinyl fence, and you want to add a lattice decorative piece at the top, or maybe you have a outdoor air conditioner and you'd like to put some vinyl lattice around that just to hide that a little bit more eyesore type thing. Or you have a gazebo and you want to put up some low shading around it. You can use vinyl lattice for this. So it's a product that is a complement for outdoor things, complement to outdoor fencing. Works with gazebos to surround things, to give privacy, personal space from your neighbors, that type of thing. And what we're doing with that is talking about a blog post regularly that talks about some type of resource, ways that you can use vinyl lattice, differences in vinyl lattice, why Permalat versus Home Depot, those types of things. And we talk about how you care for it, how you clean it, solutions. Do you want to create a privacy area? Do you want to create shade in your deck area? Do you want to do some skirting around a raised deck? All those kinds of things. We talk about those things, things that people are seeking a solution to. Then we post that on social media, and we're doing all these things I talked about. We're retargeting, we're running Facebook ads, we're trying to drive some of the traffic over there. So we're trying to get in front of the right audience with our attraction marketing. And that's what I want to talk to you about today is, do you have a strategy for attracting the right audience? And I'm saying that it really needs to start with your website. I want you to think through that piece. What are you doing on your website to attract a key audience and keep them engaged? And you can't just sell. So again, 10-4-1 type of rule there. 10 pieces of value-adding rich content, 4 that are more directly taking them over to the website, 1 that's a sell piece. And that needs to be some of your mix and your thinking. Mix up your post types, but get that content. Are you doing the content on your website? That's the starting point. Okay, is your website mobile friendly, so they can come over when they're on their phone, they're looking at that, they click through, that it gives them a good experience. That's a starting point. That's foundational. Then you want to think about sharing this content, with a photo, with a video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and where your audience is. And then how can you amplify that? I'm saying Facebook ads, along with through Instagram, are a great way because you can target, get in front of that exact ideal audience in the ways that I shared there. So what's the next step you need to take in that? That's what today's all about, is helping you think through those pieces of your attraction. Top of the funnel, coming over to the blog post and click through here, and we'll get you MikeGingerich.com/blog, a podcast, Attracting the Right Audience. And I'll have the digital funnel in there again that shows you those 6 steps. We're at the top step now, so next week or 2 weeks from now, we're going to be driving into the engagement area and what that means. All right, so that's what I wanted to focus on today. There's a step that you need to reflect on. There's a step that you need to take in action. I want you to think through that. I want you to do it before we meet again. All right? Is that a deal? Let's do it. Okay. This is Mike with the Halftime Mike Podcast. Over and out.